Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I am showing you my current go-to makeup look for when I need to attend an event or go on a date or in general just an all-day outing with my husband, friends, or family. So to start off, I am putting on a moisturizing primer and rubbing it into my skin like how I would with my moisturizer. Now I am going to go in with a second primer. This is a pore filling primer. I'm going to just take a little bit of it, not even a pea size amount, and I'm going to focus that on my cheek and also on my nose where my pores are just a little bit enlarged and you can see it a little bit more visibly. Now we are going to go in with foundation. I am mixing the L'Oreal Infallible and the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation together only because one is too light and the other one is a smidge too dark. So I'm going in to just mix it to get a better match. Then we're going to apply it on the face like so and blend it in with a makeup sponge. For this look, I want to focus on trying to cover up my acne scars and a little bit of my freckles. I don't mind letting my little birthmarks show just because I'm not insecure about it. But on days that I want to look really good for photos and all that, I try to hide as much of the discoloration and imperfections on my face as much as possible, but also removing any excess foundation so that I do not look cakey at the end of the day. Here I am using the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer in vanilla to highlight my T-zone area. And then I'm going in with my favorite concealer, the Maybelline Fit Me in Sand Sable. This one I like using to actually conceal. I know it sounds a little excessive to use two products to achieve a goal, like using two foundations and two concealers, but around this time of filming, I am trying new products to see what sits better on the face, what lasts all day, so I am better prepared for future photography and video projects. So because of that, I don't truly know my match, and sometimes I get a shade darker or a shade too light for my face. So I am just working with the products I have in front of me. After concealer, I like to go ahead and do my brows right away. I like doing this early on because if I misshape my brows or it looks a little too muddy, I can go ahead and fix it and apply more foundation and concealer around my brows without having to worry about messing up any powder products. I don't know about y'all, but my eyebrows, if you can't tell, one of them is arched a little bit more than the other. So I have to go in and fill them in a little bit more to achieve a even eyebrow look. And with that, sometimes it can be hard to achieve on bad makeup days. So doing this step early on really does help me correct my mistakes without feeling too stressed out. I like to just enhance my natural features, so even with my brows that give me the most trouble, I like to stick to the natural arches and the length of my eyebrows and even just the tail. So even on dramatic eye makeup look days, I try to keep it natural and looking fluffy so that they don't look too drawn in. And of course, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of brow gel to set my brow hairs. Depending on the product, it can darken my eyebrows, so that's why I like to go in with a light hand when I do my brows. I'm going in with the LA Girl Pro Sculpt Concealer Palette to contour and bronze the face. I am still fairly new to using cream products, so I thought purchasing a palette would be a little bit more useful for me to learn with than having to buy individual products. So I'm just gonna go in with my makeup sponge and blend that in. I've tried using different brushes, but I find that the sponge helps distribute the product a little bit more and helps blend it in a little bit more smoothly than a brush because it can look a little harsh on my face. This is my current favorite step. In my routine, I take a blush stick and I just do one swipe on each cheek. Now we're gonna go in with the iconic London Illuminator drops. I go ahead and take that and I just do small dabs on the brush. I don't do drops or anything because that's way too much product for me. But I take that amount and I go ahead and do tapping motions and I blend that into the cheeks with the blush to kind of use as a highlighter but also a blush topper. With the same illuminator, I go ahead and apply it onto the nose and a little bit of the Cupid's bow, and I go ahead and blend that with the sponge as well. After I am done applying all liquid and cream products, I am ready to set my face. I first go in with a makeup sponge and I use that to set my T-zone. As you can see, I go ahead and tap it on the back of my hand first to even out the powder on the sponge before going in. To set the rest of my face, I use a fluffy brush and I swirl that into the powder and just do some tapping motions to set the rest of my face. This step is probably excessive and a little unnecessary, but I love doing this. I love setting my cream products with powder. So to do that, I go ahead and set my contour and bronzer with a little bit of the e.l.f. bronzer, which is my favorite lately. Next, I'm using a Tarte blush and Feisty. Love this blush. I use it all year round and I've been pretty obsessed with it lately. And I go ahead and add a healthy amount of blush onto the cheeks. I love blush, probably my favorite product I like to use on the face. And I go ahead and dab that onto the face. Next, moving on to highlighter. I like using this palette ever since I got it in my BoxyCharm. I use it a lot, even on dramatic days, no makeup look days. I use it every day. And lately, I've been loving a glow highlighting look versus a sharp highlight look. So I've been using this since it achieves that for me. Some highlighters can make your look very powdery, but this palette doesn't do that. It gives you a youthful, healthy glow, which is something that I need in my makeup routine, so I highly recommend this palette. Moving on to the eyes, I am using this Violet Voss palette. I have been loving this palette lately. I'm going in with the shade Sunset to start off, and I'm just putting that all over the lid like so, doing windshield wiper motions. Some colors that I have been gravitating towards a lot more recently are pinks, corals, browns, gold, and purples. I used to not use those colors often, but lately I've been loving it on my eyes. Next, we are going to use the shade Blush. This is a little bit darker than Sunset. I'm taking this shade and I'm concentrating that onto the crease a little bit, but I'm also blending it downwards to mesh in with Sunset. If you have uneven eyelids like I do, you know the struggle when it comes to creating a eye makeup look. But moving right on through, we're going in with Amber Sky, the brown shade in the palette, and I'm using a fluffier, small, angled brush, and I'm sort of creating a eyeliner with it, but I'm going in and shaping that, and then I'm flicking it up to darken the outer corner. One of the biggest challenges when it comes to applying eyeshadow or just eye makeup in general for me is that not only do I have uneven eyelids, but I also do a better job at blending one eye versus the other. So I have to go back and forth and adjust the colors and, making sure it looks even enough, so even though it doesn't look perfect to me, it'll at least look okay in public. But anyways, going on to using shimmers, we're going in with Peach, and I'm going to just apply that all over the lid, focusing on the inner and middle parts of my lid. I find that using shimmers like this help brighten up my eyes and open up my eyes a little bit more. So I'm going in and just lightly dabbing it in and blending it in, really just building up that eye look. Next, we're going in with Champagne because one shimmer is not enough. I'm going in again and focusing that on the middle. I want my middle part of the eyelid to shine a little bit. After each shade, I like to look closely in the mirror and fix anything or make any adjustments as needed. Now going in with the shade Vanilla, I am applying that to the inner corners of my eye. Now taking another shade in a different Violet Voss eyeshadow palette, the shade Berry Hot, I'm focusing that shimmer onto the outer corners of my eyes to sharpen it up a little bit and bringing the look together. Afterwards, I'm going in with a flat concealer brush and I'm just cleaning up that outer corner a little bit to sharpen it so that it is ready for eyeliner. Taking a Kat Von D or KVD waterproof liquid eyeliner, I'm going in to create a small wing with it. Still not really confident in drawing a big eyeliner wing, so I am sticking with what I am confident in. Stopping the waterproof liquid eyeliner on the outer corners because we are now going in with the magnetic kiss eyeliner, and I'm applying that all over the lash line to prep for the falsies we are going to use later. Before we apply the false lashes, I'm going in and curling my itty bitty lashes a little bit and applying a light coat of mascara. Once the eyeliner and mascara has dried, I then go ahead and apply the magnetic eyelashes. Now we are moving to the lower lash line. I went ahead and took the shimmers that I used on my lids and I applied that onto the lash line. I also used the pink shades to blend in the shimmers a little bit as well. Lately, I've been loving a gradient lip look, but what I like to do is I like to take one shade and apply that lightly all over my lips. Then I take another shade, sometimes a darker shade, and I put that in the middle of my lips. I like to dot it and then blend it in. And I love how it looks on the lips where the darker shade is more centered and then it kind of creates a gradient outwards to more of a lighter or muted shade. Last but not least, we are going to set the face and preserve all of that hard work. Well everyone, here is the final look in natural lighting of my go-to makeup look. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for being here. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.